So Meta just acquired Chinese-based startup Manus AI at a $2 billion acquisition. But this is not the first acquisition for Meta this past year. Meta acquired several AI startups, and in fact, Facebook owner Mark Zuckerberg invested heavily into Scale AI in a deal that was valued at around $29 billion. They brought in the 28-year-old CEO, Alexander Wang. So Meta going really, really hard on AI for obvious reasons. This video, we're going to talk a little bit about why that's so important and what we can expect next. But the question everyone's asking is this the next Instagram? Well, not exactly. It certainly is fundamental, though, to Meta's commitment to AI. So let's talk a little bit about Manus. Then we're going to talk about what you can expect this deal to look like for you. So Manus was founded in China, but relocated to Singapore. And what Manus does is it builds autonomous AI agents that are capable of executing multi-step tasks like research, coding, data processing, and again, automation. And this is all capable of completing with minimal human prompting. One of its bigger competitors, at least in the marketing space, is N8N. And again, what these AI agents do is it takes the functionality way past a simple AI chatbot, LLM chatbot, and connects all the dots together, empowering the AI to perform multiple tasks in a row, way more. So for example, let's say you were interested in going skiing in Breckenridge, Colorado, which is beautiful. It's been a while since I went skiing there. Last time I was there, I broke 3 ribs. Anyway, that's a side note. Regardless, let's say you went to your AI agent and you said, hey, Manus, I'm gonna go to Breckenridge. Can you plan out the whole thing? Well, your Manus AI agent could plan out the entire vacation. It could book your air travel, your rental car, your lift tickets, your rental skis, your hotel. It could book reservations. Think about how powerful those types of tools are. And Meta is going to roll these tools out into their entire ecosystem of Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and of course, Meta AI. And we can certainly expect that Manus is going to significantly be implemented on the back end with all the coders and optimizing the algorithms and stuff like that. But we're also going to see a lot of stuff on the front end. I mean, we can expect auto posting agents. So if you want to schedule out a bunch of posts, you could use the AI within the Meta system to queue up a bunch of posts based on what you're interested in. It could probably, do background research, look at what's trending, make posts based on what's trending. There's a whole lot of stuff that I'm actually already doing myself outside of the Meta ecosystem, but this will just make it much easier to implement. You can also look at automation in ads. You want to run Facebook ads, Meta ads. This is going to make it much easier, much more streamlined to do that. One of the things, I kind of talked about this in a video earlier this week, moving into 2025, I had this idea that I was going to really scale up my podcast production agency. But through the course of the year, what I found was that a lot of my clients they just didn't need to pay for the expensive services that I was offering because there were all these AI tools that made it much easier to repurpose all the content. And I mentioned a tool called Riverside, which a lot of people host podcasts on. I'll put a link to Riverside in the comments below if you want to check it out. I still record on there regularly. But what Riverside ended up doing was saying, hey, if you record in our virtual studio, it's kind of like an upgraded Zoom room. Well, we're going to give you the show notes. We're going to give you titles. We're going to create a bunch of clips. You can actually use AI to edit the video inside of our studio. And so it kind of left me in a difficult spot. I needed to adjust. And I think a lot of marketers are going to need to adjust too when it comes to running ads. As a business owner, are you going to need to hire a marketing agency to run your ads? Well, with Manus AI and the enhanced ad system in the platform, maybe not. And so it's going to have a lot of marketers, I think, kind of questioning where their role is. I'm not going to talk all about marketing today. That's the world that I live in. But you can the point I'm trying to make here is that with AI agents involved in the digital world, it completely changes the dynamic of a lot of different industries, including marketing. You can expect that these AI agents will be able to respond to comments, that you're gonna have different sorts of DM automations and things like that. It's basically gonna turn Facebook and Meta into your own little mini personal CRM. I think there's actually a lot of SaaS companies, a lot of softwares out there that are going to be in big trouble, because a lot of the problems that they solve with platforms, I think it's tools like ManyChat, Linktree, there's a lot of SaaS tools that incorporate themselves into the Meta ecosystem, but Meta is going to end up leveraging Manus and these AI tools to replace them. You're not going to need these other tools because it's all going to be handled within the ecosystem. So I think there's a lot of SaaS companies that should be a bit worried right now. Regardless, one of the things that I think what we're seeing as a whole on social media is and one of the things that I think about is, what does this mean? We all live in the digital world, and now it's becoming more and more dominated by automation and artificial intelligence. And the reality is, it feels like it kind of defeats the purpose of social media as a whole. I mean, we're on social media to bring us together. I can see what my friends from high school are doing. I can kind of share pictures and have fun. I mean, or maybe you want to grow business. But regardless, this stuff was all built for human connection. But it feels like these AI tools are bringing us farther and farther apart. I mean, get this. This is a crazy statistic. I'll share a link to it in the comments. But Yahoo Finance reports that about 50 to 60% of all internet global traffic is driven by bots. It's all fake. If you go onto X and you start reading comments, a lot of this stuff is just bot farms. It's not real people making these posts, it's robots. And I expect, I mean, you probably know this just as well as I do. If you're scrolling down your social media feed, you see all these AI generated, AI slop types of videos. Everything is becoming fake. Everything's becoming fake. And I expect, guys, this is kind of the theme going into 2026, is the problems you're solving today are probably not the problems you're solving tomorrow. There's going to be all sorts of new problems. And sure, AI is going to solve a lot of the problems that you're solving today, but it's going to create a lot of new problems. And I expect going to 2026, 2027, there's going to be a lot of people that feel lonely and depressed and feel isolated because they are speaking to these fake AI agents all day, every day. And there's going to be a big opportunity for human experiences, human-to-human interaction, and experiences that bring us together. So what I would say to you all going 2026 is think about what are some new, different types of problems that are arising that you can work to solve. And those, my friends, is where you're going to find your greatest opportunities. Guys, thanks for joining the show today. Thanks for being here. Type your comments below. What do you think? Are real life situations and experiences the way to go? Do you think these AI agents are going to make our lives better? Do you think it's going to save us a lot of minuscule time? Or are this really starting to overtake our day-to-day life? Type in the comments below. I'd like to see that. And in the meanwhile, have an awesome day. If you liked today's video, you will definitely like yesterday's video. You can check that out right here. All right, guys, see you later. Peace.